Mm. Mm. All right. Well, I think that we're going to go ahead and just get started because the replay is going to be really boring if I don't. I just don't want to edit videos anymore, so I'm doing everything live. This is the book that destroyed me. Uh, it's Alistair Caradec's The Old Love and the New, and it is basically a gay dystopian that takes place in the UK. I'll just read the back flat for you real quick. It says, my priority is and always has been to protect the citizens of our country. God save the King. 25 years after the infection started spreading across Britain and Ireland, most people have stopped asking questions. Nobody seems to care anymore what happened to the women in the provisional quarantine centers. Sid doesn't have the headspace to care. Since receiving a diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder at age 19, he has stuck to a strict regimen of routine, low expectations, and tuning out the world. And yes, this is all that's very accurate. When his best friend brings home the first woman either of them has seen since the epidemic, Sid has to push back the boundaries he set for his own safety and face outwards for the first time. And I just had like a horrible flashback to the end of the book. As I was reading that last paragraph, it really stuck with me. I love this book. I This is how much I love this book. So all of these are notes I took while reading his book. Like all of it. Like I took notes on every single chapter. Um, So I'm going to kind of read through some of my notes. I won't read all of them to you because you'll probably lose your mind. It'll probably be very boring if I do that. So I'm just going to kind of like pick and choose a few out of here that I that really like sticks out for me. Um, the way the book opens is they are in a bar, Sid and Jamie. Jamie is the other main character, the love interest, and they're just sitting in a bar, kind of chilling out. I think they're waiting on someone. Let's see. The book opens with Sid, our main character, begrudgingly following his friend Jamie to a bar. We instantly get a sense of Sid's neurodivergence or mental illness when he thinks he can hear newscasters on a muted TV, which I thought was a really clever detail to put into the book. As soon as like he was like, oh yeah, they're talking. They're like, I feel like I can hear them like speaking, but he can like see the mute symbol on the television. He's like, yeah, I probably actually can't hear that. That's probably just because I got some stuff going on. That was a really nice detail. I enjoyed that. We also understand Sid and Jamie have known each other for a while because Sid can guess how much he's drank based on subtle changes in his personality or body language. And that's something else I really like about the way that Alistair writes is he shows instead of tells. And I know that writers hear that a lot, but all it really means is just showing us why something is true instead of just saying Jamie and Sid knew each other for this many years. Instead of just telling us that, he's like, well, I could tell that Jamie was, like 3 pints in on Guinness or whatever because he started doing this, and that's something that comes with knowing someone for a long time. So I've really enjoyed that as well. Just the first chapter really set the tone. It set expectations for the reader, and I just really enjoyed that. I was impressed, very impressed when I was reading the first chapter. Sid seems to have a fixation on a song when he gets stressed. It's Raining Men. I I love that Alistair chose that song. And Jamie also seems to understand this as a sign Sid's been triggered. Sid even scrubs his face and hands with scalding hot water in the first chapter as the song plays in his head. So like it's his song that helps him calm down. And there's a reason for it. And if you read the book, it is explained later on. And it's just I love everything about this book, but I'll never forgive Alistair. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he also hints at all the racism that ends up happening in the book. Let's see here. A group of 3 police officers shut down their bar for the night when someone plays an Irish song, and later, more racism from the police is demonstrated right before Jamie and Sid happen upon a woman. So, like, what ends up happening here? I'll just kind of like read an excerpt from the book. It's only the first chapter. I'm not spoiling anything. Where's it at? No, that's not that. I went way too far. You don't want to read that. Let me see. Oh, I need to reread this. Okay, anyway. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? No. No. Okay. Hang on. I got it. Okay, so like there's a fight between 2 dudes on the street. And Jamie goes running towards him because he's like looking for a story or something. He wants to because he's a writer. And Sid's all like, no, don't do that. But he goes anyway. So Sid follows Jamie. Sid follows Jamie everywhere. And I love that. So then the Popo show up. And let's see. And just when I'm daring myself to smile back, a patrol swings into the alley. 3 of them, always 3. And the leader, always a leader, calls out at the fighting blokes. Oi, break it up, gentlemen. Jamie feels me tense up and leans in. Keep walking, they won't stop us. 20 quid they will. You have 20 quid? Jamie, he touches my arm. Don't hum. Because he was getting ready to hum that It's Raining Men song. We're almost clear of the street when one of them detaches from the group. Gentlemen, lovely evening for a stroll, isn't it? Can I see your IDs? My hand twitches on my passport. Jamie's faster. Front pocket of his messenger bag, pulls it out in one swift motion. Irish, eh? The man asks. Jamie likes to make things worse for himself. Hey, he says pointedly. How long have you been on the mainland? Pardon? How long have you? 10 years. I have a visa. The man flips through the pages and unfolds a tiny square of paper. All right, enjoy your stay, Mr. Hayes. And then it's my turn, and already they're eyeing me up and down. And where are you from? Look, I keep things quiet. I don't mind much. It's always been the deal. Jamie's teeth, however, can be heard grinding all the way to Scotland. I love the protectiveness. I hand out the passport, and the officer sniffs. Manchester? Yes. You don't sound like you're from Manchester. He glances down at the name, Sydney. I'm not sure what answer he's looking for there, so I just pick one at random. Thanks. Perfect. I'm staring somewhere between his nipples. I'm 12. You're welcome. He slaps the passport back against my chest, and I just barely manage to grab it before it slides to the ground. Have a nice evening. Anyway, that's not the first time that people treat him like that. I think it's always the police that treat him like that. But it's because Sid, as you can see, he ain't white. That's why. And so we get to see little hints of racism all throughout the book, which I think is it's accurate representation about how people of color are often treated and profiled by police. So I kind of like that was in there. Okay, so basically that's like how the whole book opens. And I'm not going to like go chapter by chapter on you or anything. I'm literally just going to tell you a few more things that I really liked about the book. I'm going to try not to to go every single chapter, but let's see. Tom's amazing. He's like a friend that isn't a friend. But he wants to be friends with Sid so bad, and he wants to have friends in his life, but he doesn't have like a lot of strong connections with anyone, from what I gathered in the book. And he just really wants that connection, so he's always trying to like make plans with Sydney. Sid, sorry, I don't know why I said Sydney, because the cop just called him Sydney, that's why. But he's always trying to like, spend time with Sid and Jamie and everything, and Sid's always very standoffish throughout the book, kind of like, go away, I'm busy, like I got other stuff on my mind, and like always brushing Tom off, and Tom gets a whole character arc, so you're really going to want to read and tune into Tom when you're reading. I loved his character. I loved how, while I was reading it the first time, I kind of felt like Tom was kind of like way too pushy in my mind because I was reading from Sid's perspective, and I was really able to put myself in Sid's shoes when I was reading. Like I felt like I was Sid. I was that connected to the character. So um, from Sid's perspective, Tom was very pushy to me. I was like, oh my God, just get the fuck away. I'm trying to do shit. Like I got shit like going on in my life right now. I can't be like hanging out with you all the time. But then we see it more from Tom's perspective as the story progresses. And I love that little shift that we get because it's the same shift that we experience in real life where we're so concerned about how like what's going on in our lives, and we're not thinking about the other person. And then all of a sudden we're forced to because we're like, oh, I didn't realize you were going through that, or oh, I didn't realize that this was something, that this was what you were thinking, or when you're so bogged down with what's happening in your own life, you tune in and you start missing things. And I love that the shift that happened in this book was the same shift that we experience in real life when we suddenly realize that another person is also living their own lives, their own lives, and they have like their own things going on and their own obstacles to overcome. And you start thinking, oh wow, yeah, I kind of been tuned out. I've been very tuned into myself, and I haven't been paying attention. And I should have thought about the other person more. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking about it before I spoil shit. But anyway, I love Tom, and you need to read this. All these characters were very fleshed out. Olivia, the woman, that I'm not spoiling because it says it right on the back flap. Olivia, the woman who eventually pops up and ends up living in their flat, which is basically she's a fugitive, and if caught with them, they're all fucked. So Jamie is like, no, we gotta bring her in and like protect her because human. And Sid's all like, yeah, but death, execution, cops, trouble, and he just like spirals. He has a horrible time of it. But at the same time, Sid is someone who is constantly following Jamie. Jamie is his best friend, best friend, and he just follows him around like a puppy. So it's whatever Jamie says that he wants to do, Sid will just follow him around. And that's something I noticed when I was reading the book, and I don't know if it was intentional or not. I feel like it was, but Sid does get his own character arc as well, to where we see him start to like more take up for himself a little bit more and start thinking for himself more. Of course, he crashes and burns first, but but it's wonderful. I absolutely love their dynamic, their relationship, and how it evolved throughout the book. But Olivia, from Sid's perspective, when I was reading it, I was annoyed with Olivia too the entire time. Like, can this bitch just go? Like, you are stressing us out. Can't you live somewhere else? But of course, I've lived to feel bad about that too. So I'm just kind of like, all right, I know I'm being selfish. Um, let's see. Oh, there's also trans representation. There is a trans woman in this book. Ooh, there's also ace representation as well. But I'm not going to tell you who because that's kind of a really late into the book kind of thing. And I don't want to give that up. What else? What else can I find? What else was in here? I'm trying not to like make this go on too long. It's already been almost 20 minutes, and I'm like, I know that if I go on too long, then nobody will watch it. Ooh, I don't know if that would be I don't know if that would be a spoiler or not. Ooh, ooh, and they have arguments, Sid and Jamie. Oh, there's a big blowout argument that happens, and I'm like, oh no. And then there's the cover, what you see on the cover, this scene. Oh, my heart, my heart, my heart. I love this. This was my favorite scene between them in the whole book, probably. It really was. Like, I remember this one vividly. I'm like, I just remember me like getting flushed and going like, oh, yes. Like, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. Wait till you get to that scene. It's not the crow disease, guys. I promise. I've been tested. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, yes, it's just, and it really dives into his schizoaffective disorder. Like, that permeates every single page, and not in a way that detracts from the story. It actually enhances the story. So everything, like, sometimes he'll be freaking out, like his schizoaffective disorder will be like, flaring up or whatever, and I'll be going like, but maybe they are watching him. Maybe he should be tearing down all the fucking wallpaper, like maybe there's microphones in the oatmeal, like, I'm sitting there thinking that's actually, that could be a thing. I think Sid's onto something. I was really thinking that, and then I realized, oh, that's right. He's got schizoaffective disorder. I forgot about that. I'm like, what's it say about me? That I was gonna go along with him. Like, you're right. We need to get out of here. Oh my god. Sid made me paranoid throughout the whole fucking book. It was so bad. Let's see. Oh, it's wonderful. It's all wonderful. I don't want to share any more of it. I'm not, because if I share more, I'm going to spoil it. But seriously, you need to read this book. It is freaking phenomenal. You have to read it. You have to. I'm forcing you. No, but seriously, go and check it out. It's on, I think it's on Amazon. Yeah, it's on Amazon. Go to Amazon and just look him up. It's Alistair Caradec, The Old Love and the New. It's a gay dystopian that will break your heart several times. It's wonderful. I loved it. Okay, well, that's all I'm going to say for today, and I will talk to you all later. And if you want to see more live book reviews, let me know, and I'll try to do more, because I like doing the live book reviews. These aren't so bad. I feel less stressed about it, and I don't have to worry about, editing and stuff. So let me know if you like this and you want to see more, and feel free to drop book recs too. All right, bye. End stream. End stream.